flux or something else will be very easy, because you will have the same kind of concept. Just the way of doing the things will be different, but the concept will be same. So what is Redux? Redux is a library. How React is library, in the same way Redux is also a library which is used for state management. So what do you mean by state management? State management is nothing but sharing the data between the components. Sharing the data between the components. That's what we are going to call as a state management. So data management. State is nothing but data in the terms of React. So what is state? Simply, in simple words, I can say sharing the data between components. Now, this particular process we are going to call as a state management. Okay. Normally, this word data will be referred as a state in your React application, in your React world. So a state is nothing but data only, data management. Data management is nothing but just sharing the data between different components. So what we are going to learn? Redux. So after learning Redux, what we will get? We will just come to know how we can share the data between the different components. That's it. Apart from that, nothing. Concept is very easy. Redux, we are going to learn Redux to learn how we can share the data between different components. Okay, because in React everything is like a component. Sometimes some component might have the data and another component want that data, so you have to share that data. Now how to share that data, that's what we are going to learn in the Redux. Apart from that, nothing. So let me just increase these properties. Okay, now let's come here. Now, what do you mean by sharing the management in your data? So let's take some scenarios. By that, we will try to understand. Suppose I have a React application like this. Okay. Now I have some routing kind of things here. Something called home. Then I have something called service. Or I have something called profile. Let's consider profile. I have only two things, home and service. Now, whenever my application loads, here I need to load my home component. Here I need to load my home component. I need to create certain UI and I need to display the data inside this home component. Now that whatever data you want to display in the home component, that data is present somewhere in your database. Somewhere it is present in your database. Now you have to fetch that data from the database and you have to load in your home component. So for example, this is the data which is present in your database. Now, whenever your application loads, you have to send one request to this particular database. So directly a client application cannot send a request to a database. So for that, you require the help of a server-side application. So there might be some server-side application which you might build on any technology. You might have used Spring Boot, Java, or .NET, or Node Express, whatever technology. So they have built this backend application. Now, if you want this data, what you have to do, you have to just send one request to the server application. Now they will receive the client request. They will connect with the database. Whatever data you have requested, that data, it will take that data and it will just return that data to the client application. And client application has to display that data in their component. For example, there is certain data in my database. Now this data contains for both the components, home component also, profile component also. So whenever I get the data from server, now this data I just need to display here. Okay, I just need to display here. Now user will click on the profile. When again user will click on the profile, what you have to do? Again, the data is present in the database. So for that, again, you have to send one request to a server. Again, it will connect with the database and it will take the same data, because profile and component data is present inside this only. So again, you have to take this data, and again from here, the data will come to your React application. Now you have to remove your home component and you have to load your profile component. And in that profile component, you have to just display your profile data. Now, if you see, you have the same data which is present in the same collection or something. Now, unnecessarily, you are sending multiple requests. So instead of that, what you can do, simply first time, whenever you send the request, and that time you got the data, right? Try to store that same data somewhere in your client. Somewhere in your client, you have to store that data. So next time, whenever user clicks on the profile, no need to send one more request. First, check in this particular wherever you are storing whether you have the data or not. If you have the data, take that data and display here. If you don't have that data here, then only just send one request and get the data. So that is one possible. Second, for example, now I have just clicked on the profile, I have sent one more request. Now again, if I click on the home, then what you have to do, you have to remove profile component, you have to load home component, and again home component required the data. Then again you are sending one request to a server and getting that data from the server. So getting like this data from server and displaying that data in your component will take little bit time. So it is going to affect the performance of your application, because getting the data from server, obviously it will take little bit time, some seconds or milliseconds, but it is taking some time. So we have to restrict this number of network calls. So we have to write a code in such a way that we have to restrict this unnecessarily number of network calls. When it is not, like whenever it is required, then only we have to send. So for to solve this solution, we got Redux into a picture. So what Redux is telling, whenever you create your application in your browser, create one Redux store. Just create one Redux store like this. Now once you have created your Redux store, now you will have some backend application where you will have some server side application, plus you will have the database. You have server side application and you have some kind of database. Now first time whenever user clicks on the home, you have to send one request. So just send one request to this server. Send one request to a server. Request will go to the server application. Then from it will connect with the database. Whatever data you have requested, that data will come back. Now that once the data is came back, now in your home component, if you whatever you want to display, just display that data. Just display that particular data. Now you can just display that data here. Now after displaying that data, same data try to store in your Redux store also. Now whatever data you got from the database, store that data in your Redux store. Now next time whenever user clicks on the profile, that time no need to send one more request to a server. Instead of that, connect this profile component with your Redux store and just take that data from here and just display here. Next time whenever user click on the home, again connect this home component with this store, take this data from here and display here. Now this store is created inside your browser only. So getting the data from your browser is much more faster than getting the data from your this one server. So that is one of the, this is how we are just sharing the data from one component to another component. Sometimes your home component might have certain data. You might have certain data. Now this data you need to share with the profile component. So in that case, what you will do, whatever data you have in the home component, that data you will just store in the Redux. That data you will store in the Redux. And profile component will take that data from the Redux. This is the second scenario. First scenario, you can just take the data from the database and store it here, and any other component required the same data. Instead of sending again to a request to a server, they will take the data from Redux. That is the first scenario. Second scenario, if some component has some data, that data it want to share with the profile. So what this component will do, this component will store that data in the Redux store. This component will take the data from Redux store. That's it. Very simple. The concept is very simple. Just whichever component wants to share the data, he will keep in the Redux. Whoever wants the data, he will take from the Redux. That's it. So just we have to implement this particular process. Now, the concept is very simple, but implementation is not that simple. You have to follow a lot of process to do all this. So,
Sagar, one question, Sagar.
yeah.
So how will come to know like whether the data has stored in the Redux or not?
Yeah, for that we have some third-party libraries where we can see that. Okay, I will show that. Okay, that is only for the development purpose. Once your application goes into production, you will just remove that middleware. So we have one middleware called Logger, Redux Logger. So using that, we can check whether the data is present in our, I mean, stored in Redux or not. So I will show that everything. I will show you step by step. Okay. Now done. Now we know the concept, what we have to do all that. So the first thing, we have to get the data from API, the first process. Second process, store the data in Redux. Third is get the data from Redux. These are the three steps we are going to follow. First step, get the data from API. Once we got that data, second step, store that data in Redux. Once the data is present in Redux, take the data from that Redux. So these are the three steps we are going to, I'm dividing this concept into these three steps. So we know the first step, how to take the data from APIs, right? Now we just need to learn this second and third step. Now, before that, tell me in how many ways we can share the data between component. In how many ways, as of now, we can share the data between components. As far what we have learned, the first, we know how to share the data using props concept, right? So when we go for props, if you want to share the data between parent and child. Second is using callback, where we are going to share the data from child component to parent component. Third, we have seen context API. Using context API also we can share the data. And fourth approach is your Redux. So when you have to go with props, suppose you have two components. This is the component 1 and I have one more component called component 2. Now, if this both the components are in parent-child relationship, if these two components are in parent-child relationship, and if you want to pass the data from parent to child, then go with props concept. If there is a vice versa, same, they are in parent-child relationship, but if you want to pass the data from child to parent, in that case, go with the callback, right? Now, suppose you have something like this scenario. You have some nested relationship, like you have a one component, it has one more child, and this child component has one more child, and this child has one more child. Now, suppose you have something this kind of structure. Now, the data is present with this particular component, uppermost parent. Now, this data you need to share with this particular component. Then you can go with the props approach. Props means you have to just pass this data from here to here, then from here to here, and from then here to here. You have to pass in this particular hierarchy. Now, this particular problem we are going to call as, can anyone say what is this problem?
Props drilling.
Exactly. This is called props drilling problem. So we have to just eliminate this props drilling because it will be very complex to do. The first thing. Second thing, unless if due to some reason, if this component doesn't receive the data, then this final component also will not get the data. So if one chain is missed, entire thing will get destroyed. So that is the problem with your props drilling. So to just solve this problem, context API came into picture. So context API concept is very simple. Create one context object like this. Now this parent has the data, pass that data, share that data inside this context API. We know how to store the data in context API. Now this wants the data, he will take the data from here. That's it. But you have restriction in context API. What is that restriction? You can pass the data from parent to child only. If you want to pass the same thing from child to parent, then context API will not work. So context API have some restrictions that it will just allow to flow the data in one direction only, that too from parent to child only. So if you want to pass the data from child to parent, that is not possible. You have to go with the callback approach. Means from here to here, here to here, here to here. And we know that callback approach is how difficult it is. So to solve this problem, your Redux came into picture. Now, whether you have relationship or you don't have any relationship between the components, that doesn't matter. However, your component is there. For example, I have this kind of structure. Like this, I have two components. Now they have so many childrens. Now this has like this children. Now it has also children. Now I want this component has the data. This component has the data. Now this data I need to pass to this component. This component. So what are the possible ways without Redux? Without Redux, what are the possible way? First, we have to pass the data from here to here, here to here, here to here. Then from here to here, here to here, here to here. This is the one approach. Second approach, from here to here, here to here, here to here. This is the from here. And from here, you can create one context object and you can store that data here, and this component will take the data. But still it is very, 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 very complex. So to solve this, Redux came into picture. So what Redux will tell, it's a simple, who has the data? This component has the data. You just store in the Redux. Just store in this object. Nothing but in this store. Who wants the data? This wants the data. You take from here. That's it. Now this particular component has some different data. For example, it has some different data. Now this data I want to share with this component. So this particular component has the data. So what he will do? Simply he will store that data inside the Redux. Which component wants data? For example, this component wants the data. He will just connect with the Redux. He will take the data. How simple it became. So whoever wants the data, whoever wants to give the data, he will store here. Whoever wants the data, he will take here. That's it. This is your Redux concept. Apart from that, there is nothing in Redux. This is the only purpose of Redux, just to share the data. Now you are sharing the data, right? This is called state management. This is called state management. State management is nothing but sharing the data between the components. So why we use Redux means for the state management of our application. Nothing but sharing the data between the different components. Understood what is Redux? Why do we use Redux? Okay, we have just seen the what is Redux. How do you what is the purpose of Redux? Still we have to see how to implement Redux. What are the components present in Redux? Everything we have to see. But I just wanted to get clear that whether you understood the concept or not first. What is Redux? And why do we use Redux? Any doubts in these two questions? Because this is what they are going to ask in your interview. First, they will ask you, why? What is Redux? You will explain Redux. Then they will ask you, why do I require Redux? Then you can just take any scenario. As I have explained you can take any scenario and explain them. You just can take some 10 to 15 minutes to explain them this entire scenario. Just you can tell them that, can I explain with paint or something else with some diagrams? So they will be happy to listen your explanations. Now you can explain slowly everything. Now we have just learned what is Redux and why do we use Redux. Now they will ask you how to implement Redux also. So once we have seen that, then you can explain that thing also. So anyone have any doubts in this or any confusion? Because if you get now confused, then entire Redux will get confused. So that's why I'm just going slowly and I'm just asking you.
Only shareable data is stored in Redux.
Pardon? I didn't get it.
Only shareable data is stored in our Redux.
Yeah, only shareable data. So we are going to just shareable data. Once you refresh your application, your entire data in Redux will get deleted. So it's not a persistent. Data will be stored only for that particular session and that too temporarily.
If there is an updation done, then what will happen in Redux?
Again, you have to send one request to a server, get the updated data, and you have to store here in case if your database get updated. Okay. So we have a Redux persistent library where you can just maintain some persistent data in your Redux store. Means data will be permanent stored. But basically, the purpose of Redux is not for the permanent storage. It's just for temporary storage where you can share the data between different components. Okay, so this is the just concept of your Redux. Now let's see how this Redux will work. So let's suppose we already sent one request to a server and we got the data. So let's consider that scenario. We got already we done some API request and we got the data. Now this is my component which received the data from server. Now this component wants to store the data inside your Redux store. This is your Redux store, suppose. Okay. Now if you want to create this component React component, for that we are using React library. We are using React library to create your React application or React component. In the same way, if you want to create Redux, then we have to use Redux library. We have to use Redux library. By using Redux library, you can create one store. Now, once you have created a store, now these both are two different libraries. Now, this store you have to make available to your React application for your entire React application. So if you make this Redux store available to your app component, which is like parent component for your entire React application. If you make this Redux store available to app component, means this Redux store will be available for all the childrens of app component. If you make this Redux store available to app component, then it will be available for all the childrens of app component, like that. So how to make this Redux store available for this app component? So for that we required one more library called React Redux. So React Redux is a one more library which will act like a bridge between this Redux and React application. So this library helps us to make this store available for our app component. So how to do all that I will explain. I'm just trying to explain you the flow. So done. We have just created one React application, created one Redux store, made this Redux store available to our app component. That's done. Now, this particular component has certain data. It has certain data. Now, this data I just want to store here. I just want to store here. So what I will do, I just need to connect my component with Redux tool. So just I have to store that data from here to here. But your component, React component, cannot store data directly into the Redux. So Redux will never allow to store your component directly inside their particular space. So for that, this Redux is telling, create, I have one special member called reducer. I have a special member called reducer. If you want to store any data in my store, you give that data to this reducer. I will take that data from reducer. So Redux is telling, if anyone wants to store the data here, give that data to Redux. I will reducer. I will take that data from reducer. So this is called reducer. So just you have to remember these terms. So now, according to Redux, what we have to do, this data we have to give to this reducer. Once the data is present with the reducer, then Redux will take that data from reducer. But this component, React component, cannot give that data directly to this reducer also. That is also not possible. So for that, there is one more person will come into a picture. That is called action. Now this is action. Now what React component will tell, okay, you are not allowing me to store the data here, so I will not give the data directly to the reducer. So what I will do, I will just give this data to action. Action will dispatch that data to this reducer, and reduce, once the data is present with reducer, you take that data and you store in your store. So basically, if you see technically, this Redux is nothing but one object. This is technically one object, one global object. Reducer is nothing but simple JavaScript function. One JavaScript function. Action is nothing but JavaScript function. Now from this action, if you want to pass the data to reducer, then this Redux is giving you a special function called dispatch. Using this dispatch function, you can just pass the data from action to reducer. So the flow is, once the data is with your component, give that data to action. Action will give to the reducer. Reducer will give, once the data is with reducer, Redux will take that data from reducer. Now this is simple JavaScript function. Now to this function, if you want to make the reducer, means this particular function should get registered with the store. This function should get registered with the store. Once your JavaScript function get registered with the store, then this function is called reducer. So once you created reducer, created action, your React component. Now this is how you have to pass the data from React component to your Redux store. So now just try to understand the complete flow. Suppose I have here my React component. Suppose this is my React application. Here I have home. Here I have profile. Okay. Now there is one server side application and there is one database. There is one database. Now in this database, you have certain data. In this database, you have certain data. Now this data contains the data of home component plus profile component. Now this data, this data is of home component plus profile component. Now what I need to do, whenever my application loads, I need to load my home component like this. And in this home component, I need to display this data. So what I will do, whenever my home component loads, I will send one request to this API, nothing but to this server. From there, I will connect with the database. From database, I will get the data. I got this data. Once I got the data, whatever home component required, home component will display that data. Now you have the data here. Now this data I need to store in my Redux. I need to store in my Redux. So how to store in the Redux? So for that, Redux is telling create one function, one JavaScript function, and register this function with me. Register this function with me. If you register this function with me, then this function is going to called as a reducer. Okay. Now Redux is telling if you want to store any data here, give that data to reducer. But this React component cannot give the data to this reducer also. So for that, it will create one action. Now action is nothing but simple JavaScript function only. Now this particular has the data, this component has the data. So what it will do, simply it will give that data to this particular action. Now this component has the data, right? He will give this data to this action. And the action will give that data to reducer. Now once the data is present with the reducer, this reducer is registered with Redux. So Redux will come to know the data is with reducer. He will take that data from reducer and he will store in your Redux store. That's it. Now data is stored in your Redux store. Now if you click on the profile, then your profile component will load. Suppose your profile component is loaded. Now what profile component will do? Profile component will just connect with this Redux store. He will take this data and he will display here. He will just display that data here. That's it. Now see, now whenever you click on the profile, you are not sending one request. You are just getting that data from Redux store only. Now this Redux store is created in your browser only. So taking the data from browser will be much more faster than taking the data from your APIs. So this is how we are going to follow the complete flow. So here, what things you have to create? You have to create first this Redux. Nothing but you have to create this store using Redux library. Then you have to make this Redux available for your component using React Redux. Then you have to create actions. Then you have to create reducer. Then you have to join all this flow in this particular way. Remember, this flow is very, very, very important. According to this flow only, we are going to write coding. We are going to do our coding. So I want you guys to remember this flow completely. You have to just butify this flow. So this is the pattern they have used to store the data in your Redux. So the people who implemented Redux, they have used this pattern. So we have to just remember this pattern.
So, Sagar, dispatch is a part of React Redux. It's a
Yeah, it's a part of Redux dispatch. So dispatch is used to just share the data from action to reducer.
Okay. This is only to store while storing, but while fetching directly we can fetch.
Yeah, here again, if you want to fetch, this is the second part. I'm not explaining that in the detail.
Okay.
But if this component wants the data from here, again, you have to take the help of React Redux. Using React Redux, we can just take the data from here. Okay, so that's why I have not explained much. Just I have directly told we can take the data. So this is like the next part. So once we are able to store successfully, then we will see how to take the data from there. Okay. So I will take two examples in this Redux. First, I will take basic example so that at least concept will come. Then I will use API, how to take the data from API and store in the Redux. The same thing again, once we learn functional component, again there also we will implement the Redux. So totally you will get 3 examples on Redux. And these are more than enough to understand. The only thing you guys have to little bit practice this Redux more. So try to develop everything from the scratch so you will get it. Okay. So first, let's do a simple way. Let's see only how to store the data in Redux. Then once we are able to do this successfully, then we will see how to take the data from Redux. So now we have to implement all these things. All these things we have to implement. So before doing this, let's try to understand what we are going to build. So first, I will create one component, something called one home component. Now in this home component, I will create two sub components. One is something called name component and one more is like display name component. Display name component. Okay, very simple example. In this name component, I will simply take one text box. I will just simply take one text box and I will take one button. One button, that's it. Okay. Now my requirement is very simple. User will enter something here. He will click on this button. Whenever he click on this button, we have to take the data from there and we have to store that data in the Redux. We have to just take this data from here and we have to just store that data inside this Redux. So once we are able to successfully store that data, now this is a display name. Now he will take that data from here and he will display here. That's it. So if you type something, click on this data should come here. Now if you see, this is another component, this is another component. This both the component doesn't have any relationship. So this component is storing the data here, this component is taking the data from here. So this is a simple example to understand the Redux concept. So we will try to, our main focus will be understanding the implementation of Redux, how to implement the Redux in our React application implementation. Okay. So this is how we have to create. So for what I did, I have created a separate application for that called Redux 1. So I just don't want to mix everything. So here I have just created a separate application. So some basics things we have to do here. If I say npm start, just we got our basic React application. So if I go to the app JS, and if I remove this entire code from header to header, and simply if I say here h2, welcome to Redux. Now save it. Now if you come here, now we got welcome to Redux. So let's create little bit UI, some UI. So for that, what I am doing, I required some libraries. Like first I required Bootstrap. So I will just say npm install Bootstrap. Okay, I required React Router DOM. So React -router -DOM. Just you can install multiple libraries by just dividing, giving one space. Apart from that, I required Axios. So I'm just writing Axios. And what else we required? So as of now, this much only. So I'm just saying enter. So now it will install. So I have to just configure all these things. I don't want this logo, so let me remove this. Done. Okay. Now simply here what I'm going to do, configure your Bootstrap. Import Bootstrap from dist from CSS in that bootstrap.css. That's it. Now we have just imported Bootstrap. I will show you one example using Material UI also, Material UI. So that is also one of the framework like a Bootstrap for just creating some styles. So this is a Bootstrap. Now let me see whether it is working or not. So I will just use some class name equals to text danger. Now if you save it, now you got text danger, means your Bootstrap is working now. Done. So now what I have to do first, let me create one navigation bar. So for that, inside this src, I will create one folder called components so that I can create all the components here. Now inside this component, I'm just going to create sub component called navbar. And one more component I want to create, one more folder I want to create, something called Redux. Okay, done. Now inside this navbar, I will create one nav.js. Simple navigation bar I need to create. Apart from that, nothing. So shortcut, just say R React class component. That's it. E. Or something like RCE. Just say RCE, click on the tab. Now you will just get the skeleton. Now just remove this export from here. That's it. You got one skeleton. Now I just want to create one nav bar. So simply here I'm saying one nav. So here only I can directly say nav. Inside that one container. Now here I will just import link React Router DOM. From React Router DOM, I want link component. Now I have just created one container, inside that one link. And here 2o, nothing but slash. And for this href, not href, just give the class name equals to something called nav bar brand. Now I'm just closing it. For this nav, we can give some class names called navbar dark, and bg dark. Now save it. Now I just want to show this navbar in my app component. So here I can just write some routing kind of things. So for that I required import from React Router DOM. So we know that whatever we are using from React Router DOM, everything should be in the browser router. And I required routes. And one more is route. I just required this many predefined components from React Router DOM. Now I will just remove this. Here I will keep browser router first because everything should be in the browser router. Then I want to create multiple routes. So I will just create routes. In that simple route path, if path is slash, then you have to just load certain component like this. You have to load certain component, and before that I want to keep the navigation. So import nav bar. This is the nav. So this nav component I want to keep in all the components. So I'm writing outside this routes. Done. Now save it. Now if you come here, now you got here, right? Now let's come here. Now here simply you have to say some name. So let me write here link and something like Redux, React with Redux, React with Redux. Now we got here React with Redux. In the same way, I just want to create multiple links. So for that, I'm just taking UL, inside that LI, and for each LI, one link. Here TO slash, and here something called home. As of now, I'm just taking the home. And for this, I can give some class names. Class name equals to nav. Here, nav item. And here, nav link. Nav link text white. Now if I save it, now I got here home. So like this, I want something extra. Yes, Smith, I will just explain you the path. Now here I'm just writing some two more components, okay? So something called here profile, and something called here, anything you can take, right? Something called help. Save it. Now you got home, profile, help. Now finally we are able to build one navigation bar. That's it. So see, this is a very simple path. We have installed Bootstrap. Once we install Bootstrap, that is stored in our node modules folder. So anything coming from our node modules, no need to give complete path. Directly you can give, no need to give complete relative path. Directly you can give that path of that your particular library. Now Bootstrap is present inside the node modules. If you search here Bootstrap, you will just get this Bootstrap here. So inside this Bootstrap, we require bootstrap.css file. That file is present inside this Bootstrap, inside dist, inside CSS. Here we have that file, bootstrap.css. So if you just go down here, you have that file, bootstrap.css. So in this file, you have all the classes. If you see, you have entire classes. Whatever classes we are using, all that classes are present inside this file. Now this CSS file we have to link with our app component. So how to link? Simply you have to say Bootstrap. Simply you have to say here Bootstrap. Inside that Bootstrap, it is present in the dist. Inside that CSS. Inside that we have a file called bootstrap.css. Now in this file, all these classes are present. Whatever classes we are using, all these are present inside this class, inside this file. So we have to just import your Bootstrap in this particular way. Okay, anything which is coming from node modules, no need to give complete path. We have to just give direct path. If you see here, this nav is not coming from the Bootstrap. Not coming from the node modules. That's why we have to give the complete path. So Bootstrap is coming from node modules, no need to give the complete path. Okay, done. So we have just created nav bar. Apart from that, nothing. Now I just need to create my structure. What is that structure? In this Redux, I will just create one home component, home.js, and in this home.js, in this Redux, I will create one more something called name.js, and one more is display name.js. Display name.js. Totally, I have created 3 components. Now we have to create that entire 3 components. So how to create entire 3 component? So first I will go to this name. Here simply I will write RCE, click on tab. I got class component. Here I will just take one container, and in that one row and one column and one card and card body. And inside this one input type equals to text, and one button. Like something called display. Now, if you want to make this bootstrap button, you can just make it class name equals to something called btn hyphen primary px hyphen something like 3 btn. Okay, let's see here. Now I'm just saving this. Now in the same way, in the display also, here also RCE tab. Now just remove this export from here. Just make one container. In this one row, one call, and in that just I want to display in some paragraph, some data I want to display. As of now, I'm just hard coding the data, no data like this. We'll try to display the data here from the Redux. Here class name equals to something like lead, or I can just simply say display 3. Now save it. Now these 2 components I have to keep in the home component. So RCE tab, I got the home component. Now simply here container, and in that row, in that simply one call. In the same way, I want to create one more row and one more call. Now I just want to display that 2 components, name component, display name. So import name, and in the same way import display component. Now keep the name component inside first row and keep your display name in your second row. That's it. Okay, we have just configured it. Done. Now if I go to my application, this is my home component, right? I don't want to do anything in the home component. Here profile, we have here help. Now here I just want to give one more called Redux. So I will just go to this nav. I will create one more. So before this profile, I will create here something called Redux 1. Now save it. Now if you see here, you got Redux 1. Now whenever I click on the Redux 1, I want that component here, home component, so that I can see name and display name here. So for that, what we can do, simply for this Redux, I can say here Redux like this. Now whenever Redux /Redux you will find in the URL, you have to load this home component. So for that, I will just go to this app and configure one route. So first you have to import that home component here. Import home. Then I have imported home component. Now I am saying if the path is /Redux, then you have to just load some component. Here for that, we can just take something called element equals to like this. Here we have to load certain component. So here we don't have any component, right, for home. So let me write directly here Redux. So if it is a path is /Redux, you have to load this home component. That's it. Now save it. Now if you come here, now if I click on Redux, now I got this Redux one. So on the top, we can go to this home, and from here we can simply say MT5. And between these rows, I just want to keep some gaps, so MT5. So if I come here, now I got here. Now if you want to make this as a bootstrap text box, that also we can make. So just go to this name, and for this give some class name. Class name equals to form control. And here we can just say form group. Now if you save it, now you got like this. Now here we can simply say dflex. So dflex is not working. Okay. Yeah. So here simply SM-6. Yeah, done. Now here I can say MT-3. Now I got display. If you want here, just add some placeholder. Enter name. I should save it. Now you got enter name. Okay, now I want this exactly in the middle. So for that, what we can do, simply we can make this as a 4. And here we can just write one more column called SM-4 tab, just empty. So it should come in the middle. Exactly, it came in the middle now, like this. Now here, just if you want any heading, you can just write any heading. My requirement is very simple. I will enter some data here, click on this display. Whenever I click on the display, I want to display that data here. So now this is different component, this is different component. So you have to share the data from here to here, from here to here. So what we will do, whenever I click on this display, this data we will store in the Redux, and from Redux, this component will take the data and it will display here. So how to see that Redux, that we will see in the tomorrow session. We have just created our component. Apart from that, nothing. We have not did anything from the Redux point of view. So from tomorrow, we will just implement all these parts. Whatever we have discussed, all these parts we will display. I mean, we will create action, reducer, dispatch, Redux, everything. Okay. So what I want you guys to create at least up to here. Just create up to here, so that you guys will be on the track. So in tomorrow's session, we will see how to implement the Redux. If anyone have any doubts, just stay back. If you don't have any doubts, yeah, you can leave the session.
Sir, as you have said that on clicking on that dialog box, whenever we enter, the data will be displayed. So if we will display, if we will write any ID number of that particular data we want, so can it be possible that data will be displayed?
Which ID number?
ID number as in like we enter a data like number 1, this name ABC, and then so
you
just
want to you want to provide like a list.
Yes, sir.
Like if I enter 1, I mean for some data, if I click on here, that data should come here. Then again, if I type something again, if I click on this, next data should come down, right?
That is yeah, that is what we have done. But I just want that if I enter only number like 01, and in that 01, whatever we have already we have entered in the database, that only that can.
You can do that.